The Joe Rogan Experience.
One of the things that disturbs me greatly today is there is a movement, and I don't know how big it is, but it's a movement for people to try to recognize pedophiles as a sexual distinction, a sexual designation, rather than a sick disease. That similar to being trans or being gay, or that some people are just born pedophiles.
Well, I think what's important there is it's not just a crime, because a crime can be fixed and treated. So I think it is important to understand these people will always psychologically be pedophiles. And you're not going to get them to be like straight, homeowners.
There's no therapy that's ever been shown that...
I think it's like trying to make someone who's gay straight.
Is it really that?
That's my understanding.
If that's the case, then is there an argument that we should be more compassionate with them as long as they don't act on that?
But that's the danger, because the other thing, what they don't understand is, from their point of view, those kids are giving consent, which they are, right? The kid's saying yes. So they're like, look,
maybe.
Blah, blah. That's what's scary.
We don't even know if they do, right?
But they don't think of statutory rape being a thing. And I knew, this would I interned at a place long ago, and there was a librarian who worked there, like a Guido type, and
a girl or a guy?
Guy. And years later, he was arrested. He was a school teacher. He was arrested in an undercover sting trying to meet a kid who he knew was 13 or 12 in a park to try to sleep with him, right? This was Janine Pirro, who later became a Fox commentator. He got out of jail, and I see him on Facebook. He's married with kids. And it's just like, you think it's fine? That shit's scary shit.
That's insane.
And it's another thing to be switch gender, too. If you're going for young boys, you're going to go to like regular aged women? I don't see how that would work.
Right.
And this is something that's such a taboo topic that I don't think for a lot of people correctly, once you start talking about kids and sexuality, their hackles raise. It is a PC subject, because it's like, why are you even introducing this into the conversation? Where are you going with this? It's a very, very, very slippery slope.
Well, if you're trying to say, or if they're trying to say that this is something that people are born with, I don't think there's evidence that people just are born that way. I think there's evidence that people become that way from sexual abuse.
Yes, that's true too. Absolutely. And they think it's appropriate.
I've never heard of anybody that grew up in a normal household who wasn't abused. Is that the case? Am I incorrect?
I'm not in a position to talk about this at all. I think we have probably a very few cases of pedophiles on the record explaining how they came to this point of view.
Right.
But in either situation, born or abuse, I can't see how this is something that's going to be an emotion level you're going to be able to turn them away.
Well, it's also the idea of that being in your neighborhood.
Yes.
This is in your neighborhood. You've got this guy who likes to fuck kids, and he promises not to do it anymore. But he did a few times. They locked him up in a cage, and now he lives down the street.
And he locked up in a cage where he was traumatized also, further traumatized.
Oh, yeah.
So, and also if he promises not to do it, but knowing when he's looking, if he's checking out my son or my daughter.
Yeah.
I did not expect to be talking about this today.
Of course.